Today I systematically went through and removed someone's comments on one of my channels because he doubled down on getting something simple wrong, saying a specific person is a virologist, and then said, well, if he has any kind of degree, he could be. The man he was talking about never claimed to be a virologist, and I'm done. I don't care if it bugs you. I don't care if you would like doing, neeners. You spread misinformation on the channel, I have a good reason to delete it. Normally I just leave it up, or maybe I archive it and delete it later. But we're talking about lying, just fucking bullshit lying about something that could affect everybody on the planet eventually over the next few months until like May or, April, May, which is the projected time span that 2019 NCOV, the outbreak, may take to actually resolve itself, because basically it's going to be doing this until it's summertime, and that's when it should stop moving. That will give us a few brief moments or months to come up with a vaccine to keep it from happening the next year. It has a 1% death rate, but it's very contagious. Tech companies joined the fight against misinformation concerning it, generated a large amount of misinformation on social media channels. Facebook announced that it would take action to remove misinformation regarding the outbreak from its social media platform. Translation, they're all against Trump. Or, alt media is going to die. No, it's that you're saying shit that is very easily able to kill people. Lying about AIDS made it proliferate faster. Lying about it being the gay disease made it happen more. Lying about any of this shit makes it worse. You're not allowed to do that anymore. Our freedom of speech should be absolute. Our ability to contradict your shit should work, and it doesn't. Why? Because people enthusiastically repost things that are not true because they like creating just a little chaos. The whole point of your behavior, all of you out there that spread this shit, is to kill people. Well, I didn't actually kill anybody. Fuck you. Lying about the treatment for MRSA. No, I'm not talking about the virus. I'm talking about a bacterial infection. Methicillin, specifically, resistant Staphylococcus aureus, staph infections. Years and years of us using broad-spectrum antibiotics that kill most things off because it's easier ended up creating a superbug. So we had to start using things that were much more specific. One of them ended up being bacteriophages, viruses that won't hurt us but attack bacterial infections. And yes, someone's going to scream FEMA and Bill Gates and Monsanto in a minute. Fuck you. Listen, shut up. We found ways to kill it. We also found out that if you do a 1-2 punch, that the two copies or types of super staph that were rolling with each other a lot of the time would be killed off. Community-acquired staph infections became a problem. Then kids started losing legs. And then you got the not-so-infamous video of a parent walking up to some stupid anti-vax activist and slugging her hard enough in the face, and her husband, that they broke their jaws. Shut up with your bullshit. We're trying to solve something here. Fucking stop throwing clogs into the gearworks. Sabotage. Stop fucking things up, not accomplishing anything, and breaking shit. Lack of knowledge encourages flat earthers. They spread misinformation. They don't give a shit if they're telling you the truth or not. They just want to be talked about and talked to, so don't talk to them. How do you destroy this monster? Turn your back on it and ignore it. Let it die in silence. Some things only exist if we are the carriers of them, and they are memes. I think her name is Jenny McCarthy. I don't really know her name, actually. I think it might be Jenny McCarthy. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Would spread anti-vax bullshit instead of eventually admitting I was wrong and I may have killed a bunch of children. That's not something a grown person can actually come to grips with. I might have encouraged someone to kill their kid, so she'll just double down. But the rest of you assholes don't have any fucking excuse. Lying about this being airborne AIDS or a weaponized virus that was created for some reason in China to kill off all the Chinese, and then another person posting, well, we can see videos on the internet of doctors on camera telling us it's not what we think. The only one I found is somebody speaking in Chinese with English translation underneath, with Chinese people unfortunately typing in Chinese saying, this man is not saying anything in English that you say. Why are all of you lying about something that is a documented fact? Because being a contrarian is based on having a really simple game. Let me repost the Goebbels Nazism shit-headed fact of it. Find out what the truth is. Say a lie that's either partially or totally opposite of reality. Sit back and watch people pay attention to you and contradict you in a way you can easily predict, because all they have is the truth. You know what they're going to say, so you then execute your next evil plan part. Moo ha 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 ha. I'm going to bring up a cartoon episode. I'm not kidding. And knowing's half the battle. The G.I. Joe TV series. Cartoon series. Yeah, I'm doing that. The more you know. In it was a very not so subtle counterculture bit in it. A lot of it. You know, good versus evil TV show. One of the things they stuck in it was educational moments to make it to where it was appropriate for children to watch. And they were subversive as hell in those. One episode was deliberately, overtly, and notorious, infamously subversive. It was the episode where the evildoers went out of their way to be PC-ish, telling everybody, if we're all the same, it's easier to get along. We should all be about the same. Very close to Nazism realm stuff. And they went ahead and deliberately made it look very enticing and very interesting and very attractive. They did that to make it truly horrifying to anybody who knew what was going on the screen, and children could watch played out on the screen what happens when conformity becomes the best pass in life. I know this is a really stupid thing to cite. Lots of TV shows did this, specifically cartoons. Well, they're programming our children. Yeah, they're warning you that going along with the herd is bad. So what do? You don't go along with the herd. You look for someone to whip you into position and make you do what they want. You go on social media and hear someone tell you 1,000 lies that you want to hear. And if they tell you just one more lie, you're just going to repost it. So someone posts, not on this channel, but on another one. You know that the Chinese are lying. No, the statements are, the Chinese doctors are making videos saying that the government, vague statement, isn't telling you the truth. Which one? Are you saying the American government isn't doing it? Or the Chinese government? Why are you leaving out which one? What advantage does the United States government, the World Health Organization, or anybody have of lying to you about how to prevent a disease from spreading that could kill them? Now we will invoke the chemtrail fallacy. If you go up in a plane and dump shit high enough up, no matter where you're aiming it, it will drift eventually to where you live. Unless you literally don't care and you're suicidal. Well, they're just madmen. They don't think straight. But this wouldn't work and doesn't work. And you knew I was going to say that. Chemtrail fallacy was created by a bunch of people trying to sell supplements. Yeah. That's actually where it came from. You don't like hearing that? Let me repeat it. The idea of chemtrails was not invented by the Air Force in a little pamphlet named Chemtrails. That's a lie and a meme as well. It was not invented by the government. It's not a real fucking thing. It is a bullshit lie built on other bullshit lies where people constantly evade the simple idea. If you were to go up in a plane and dump chemicals into the air that would cause people to die or slow down population growth, why would you do it? And don't invoke Illuminati, you sold your soul to the devil, any of these other escape hatches from reality. Why would you do it? Well, I wouldn't. Well, then who would? Everybody I hate, all the liberals. So it doesn't require any end game or even a finger snap. No avenging. No, nothing cartoonish or cartoon-like. Like literally a bad guy that just does bad things and doesn't care about the consequences. That sounds exactly right. That's totally accurate. That's exactly what would work for somebody to put together a multi-trillion-dollar program of dumping shit in the air to do some damn thing that has not worked in 40 years. Never worked. It has not reduced the population, it's increased it. It hasn't dumbed people down. There are more people with genius IQs than there should be. We have to actually change the definition of IQ 100 now. Yes, that actually is a thing. There are more people on Earth that are smarter than are dumber. No. An academic who's learned how fusion works isn't a sheeple. You people on the internet, on social media, reposting and reblogging shit without actually thinking, does this even make a teeny bit of sense, because you don't give a shit, are not smarter than everybody else. You're dumber. And it's not my ego saying it. You prove it by doing it. So let's get back to the disease here. It is a virus that's very similar to SARS. It is more virulent. It replicates more often. It spreads more often, and it kills its hosts less often. It's a much more improved disease. And it may stay resident in the population, and it, as far as we know now, it is very contagious, or at least somewhat contagious, at least, during the period of time when you don't know you're sick, which makes it massively worse. So let's solve that by lying about what it is and making memes so we can get attention on Facebook, so we can get views on YouTube, so we can keep promoting the same chemtrails and FEMA camp bullshit. Because that all worked so well the last 5,000 times you reposted it. Well, we're fighting the conditioning. Frog's gay. You haven't accomplished a fucking thing in your life, and you're a waste of flesh. The World Health Organization has announced that they have developed a partnership with Google to work to prevent misinformation. Someone will translate that to censorship. If you post something that is demonstratively untrue, that has no benefit for society, and will likely increase the death rate, maybe it should be stopped. Why is it so easy for people to promote lies like this? I know somebody, there's this secret person I won't tell you the name of, who's a doctor, and he says such and such. And then later on we find out he's not the doctor you're referring to, the doctor you're referring to never said it, and he was a virologist when he wasn't. So what do? You do whatabouts and weasel outs and say, well, he could be, maybe, secretly a secret virologist. Where'd you get the virologist thing? Nowhere. You made it up or you copied it off of Reddit or Facebook. The Bill Gates Foundation pledged response funding earlier today, $100 million, raising total pledge to 90 million. 10 million support in January. Newly pledged funds go towards improvements in detection efforts to isolate and treat the patients. So someone will then say, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is going to be spreading this all over Africa and Asia, because saying the exact opposite of reality is the only fucking thing you're able to do. Because saying something that's true and verifiable is boring. A lie without any corroboration puts the onus on every one of us to try to figure out where you got it from and then disprove it. It's easier to get away with, and there's no punishment for it. Me stating something factually true, I could be wrong tomorrow, because tomorrow we might find out that the virus does some other damn thing. But if you overtly go out of your way to lie about shit and endanger your neighbors, there is no problem, because the lie can be stable. You can leave it alone. And it's totally under your control. Your bullshit reality of chemtrails, FEMA camps, and guillotines, and shackles on trains never has to go away, because you just won't listen to someone telling you that you're lying. When the trolls pop up and try to derail your progress, just ignore and block them and carry on. That's what I used to do. It doesn't work. Now they're going to have to get erased. So I'm going to do it in my comment section sometimes. Thank you. Good day.